of Bell to Bell brought to you by Jackpot City Casinos. If you guys haven't checked out jackpotcitycasinos.com or download the app, I am back here with Tara Zapp, the villain Tara Zapp. How are we doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. And my one brain cell is just trying to get through the day.
I got conned into watching a movie last night with my cousins.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, we can go to a movie. Like, we got you a ticket, just come. So I went. And then as I was paying for parking, it was like, oh yeah, 3 hours of parking is free. I'm like, hey, sweet. And then I looked down, there's this little poster, and it's like, Avatar is 3 hours and 37 minutes. And I'm like, why is this movie so long?
So you went to see Avatar?
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
long. It was a great movie. It was. I
Yeah.
didn't watch the second one. I only remember the first one. I remember
Yeah.
going to the theaters to watch the first one. That was years ago. I
Yeah.
don't even remember the second one coming out.
I don't
I was like,
either.
wait, what? And
Yeah.
then I got invited to the third one. So like an hour before, I was like at Big Feet getting a foot massage with my cousin and like trying to read what happened in the second one and figure out what happened. And then
Yeah.
we went
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
the 9:45 movie, so then I didn't get home till like midnight, past midnight, and then I had to like work a little bit. So I get
Yeah.
you. I'm on a few hours of sleep over here
Ugh,
too.
yes. Lots of
How's
travel for me this week.
how's everything? How was your New Year's?
It was it was busy. Yeah. I floated around to several friend groups and
Yeah.
you know pulled from every angle, but I got through it and didn't sleep much, but it's all good. Ate a lot of
Yeah.
food. Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
I feel like I'm just like since Christmas forward, I've just like not slept properly. There's
I
something
know.
happening. I got a family thing tonight. I got a
Yeah.
cousin that's having his engagement thing tomorrow. I'm like, it's just
Yeah.
nonstop right now.
Yeah.
Uh, but what did happen on New Year's before I went hung out with my family and whatnot was Dynamite actually aired on New Year's Day. New
Yes.
Year's Eve, actually, I should say, not New Year's Day. And it was funny because I put the results out and I remember someone commenting being like, oh, like I'm gonna watch that later. Like who stays home at New Year's and watches it? And I was like, listen, dude. Fortunately, I'm on the West Coast. The shit ended at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm still,
Yeah.
I'm still going out. I'm like,
True.
he's like, that makes a lot of sense actually. I'm like, yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, you guys are lucky. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not like 10 o'clock over here. It's 7. I'm still heading out. I watched Dynamite. It was a solid show, and we'll talk about that. Before we talk about that, I just gotta say, make sure you subscribe to Bell on YouTube. There's been videos put up there all the time, even shorter videos. You don't
Hmm.
have to watch like a full episode. You can watch like a 7 minute, 6 minute, 5 minute, 2 minute, whatever minute clip of us talking about certain topics. Follow us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, follow us on Kick, and and then
Okay.
also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. There's always clips going up all the time. We just interviewed Carissa Rivera, formerly known as Electra Lopez, on Tuesday.
Oh
That's
yeah.
out there. A lot of good stuff in there. She was very honest, very straightforward. It was a good, quick interview for the first one for Bell to Bell. Hopefully, we have some people on here soon.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully.
just a reminder, starting next week, we will be starting at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So the shows will be later in the day. I think it's just a little bit more fitting because it's evening, and I feel like people are home and
Yes.
stuff. Right? Don't you
Yeah.
agree?
Oh yes. I can't wait.
Yeah. And then we won't have to come on here and be like, I barely slept.
Right.
We will be awake and alive.
I mean, what's my excuse? It's like 1 p.m. here, but like somehow I'm like, oh, I'm dying.
Yeah.
But yeah, holidays.
It's 10:09
Like the
a.m.
holidays.
here, and I woke
Yeah.
up at 8:30, and I went to sleep at like
Yeah.
5. And I woke up at 8:30 of fear of like, oh no, I'm gonna sleep in, because I've had like very I'm gonna pull up a game while we before we get into Dynamite here, but I was very I have like so many stories of me being younger. I feel like I've gotten better as I've gotten older, but like in my 20s, like
Yeah.
sleeping in through work, like when I
Oh.
worked at Home Depot, where it's like, oh,
Oh
I gotta
no.
like go open the store, and then like I slept in, and like someone else got called in last minute, and I'd get in trouble at the bank,
You worked at the
which was
bank?
even worse when I'd sleep in and not open the store. I worked at
Yeah,
TD
that's not
Bank,
good.
and
People need the
I worked
bank.
at Coast Capital,
Kind of important.
and yeah, and like and more the old school people like coming to the bank like first thing in the morning. That was like a thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, but
The
yeah,
old.
uh, we got one of our one viewer that's here all the time, Vampire Squid in that thing.
Vampire
Uh,
Squid. Hell yeah.
Jericho's AEW contract expired
Mhm.
on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
I believe you personally know Jericho, so we won't try
I
to
do.
get you to tell us anything. But but
Maybe I
I
know some
think
stuff.
I think he's going back. I think he's going back to the WWE. That's my
Mm-hmm.
humble opinion.
That
Um,
seems to be the popular opinion right now, and yeah, word on the street is, but
yeah, I just think he's and also when I think about it too, like what he was doing right before he left AEW, and once again, personal humble opinion, I don't know if there's much left for him to really do there.
mm-hmm,
Um, and I think the fans are turning on him there specifically
mm-hmm,
right now. So this
mm-hmm.
gives him a shot to come back, be beloved again in the company that this tribal side of the fan base is watching.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying I'm expecting him to or I think he should, but if he was to finish off his career, I think it'd be best in the WWE. I
yeah.
don't know if
So you
that's
think,
this
yeah,
year, next year, 2 years, 5 years. I'm
yeah,
not telling him to do
yeah,
anything,
yeah,
but I'm just saying if he was gonna finish his career off somewhere, it'd be in the WWE, go on the Hall of Fame, do the whole thing, you know?
yeah. A little retirement
Yeah.
tour. I think that seems to be pretty popular right now. It's like one after another, one legend after another coming back to the WWE and
If you ask me
having a
like
1 or 2 year run and then
yeah
retiring.
yeah
Yeah.
like because if you ask me, I think we might have even talked about it like on one of these shows not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
You and me or you and me and Arby, but uh, I used to say I'm like it's so crazy how like and I definitely used to say it on the TWC show and stuff all the time. Where I'm like I think wrestling fans don't really understand like how weird it is for some of us being like, yo, John Cena's been here for like 20 years. Like Randy Orton's been
Mm-hmm.
here for like 20 years because a
I
lot of the
know.
wrestlers of our childhood, if not jumping back and forth between companies, really had short like Austin's like peak run was like 96 to 2002 ish, and then he was kind of like retired and gone. The Rock was like 96 to like 2003, the same thing. You know what I mean? Like not everybody. Hogan did 85 to 9. You know what I mean? Like not
Yeah.
everybody stayed somewhere for like 20 years or like they were just
Yeah.
there forever. And I
Okay.
feel
Yeah.
like I'm not complaining about it, but we have a roster heavy of guys that have been around for a long time.
Yep.
Because you even think about, I'm not even just talking about like the Punks and the Rays and the Cenas and the Ordens. I'm also wait, will I get a third raspberry? No, it never happens. I don't know why that never happens. But I'm talking about like also like if you really put in perspective, like Roman, Seth, Becky, Bailey, like that era of wrestlers have also now been here for like 12, 13 years almost. They all started in like
Yes.
2012 or
Yes.
whatever. So it's like, and now we get to see when people start a little bit earlier too, because like NXT is like such a visible thing that you can watch and whatnot. Like, whereas if you really asked me when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, I didn't know Mick Foley was in WC. Cactus Jack and Mankind was the same person, or like or like Stunning Steve Austin and Stone Cold are the same. What do you mean? That guy's
Yeah.
involved. But like now,
Yeah.
it's like they stay in one place for a very long period of time. You know
Yeah.
who they are. They're not splitting it between WCW and WWE. I mean, we're getting it a bit now since 2019 with AEW, but it wasn't like that for a lot of years. So it's interesting. We're going to see a bunch of retirements. Like, you do. You have Punk, you have Orton, you have Jericho, you have Ray, you have AJ Styles. All these guys that are eventually going to be like, well, I'm probably going to hang it up at least within the next 10 years. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
So
and then
when
you
you
have
were,
the younger guys that are going to start doing that too. Like, eventually you're going to be like, oh, what the hell, Seth? Roman?
yeah.
Oh, Mox? Like, these guys are probably going to like either slow down or hang it up. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So you probably as well grew up in like the maybe like mid to tail end of the Attitude Era. But I don't
Uh,
recall like when I grew up on wrestling too many uh superstars that were like the age that is kind of the average age now. So like the
well,
average age WWE stars is like 40.
yeah, and
So and
I remember
I
when
don't
they started
remember
making the
that.
comparisons with AJ Styles and Hulk Hogan because they were like, yo, like in 1998 or in 97, 98 when Hollywood Hogan popped off and it was like the NWO and stuff. And he was like facing Piper in the cage, and they were like saying age in the cage, and they're doing all this stuff, and like Hogan was 42, you know,
Okay.
and it's
Wow.
like, well, AJ Styles is like now 44, 45. Punk's 47, I think. And it's like, no one's saying that stuff. Well, there are people. I'm not going to say no one is because there is an audience on the fan base. Like, this guy's old, yada, yada, yada. But like, it's less looked down upon as it was back then,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And I noticed even like Bailey had her like training camp, and there's a couple girls. There was one girl that was like 42.
In the
And it's
training camp?
like, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
it was like, I just think it's interesting. Like, it's just, it's not the way it used to be, you know?
Yeah,
Like, you don't retire at 30 anymore. Your career is like literally just getting started. So I think that's pretty neat.
let me ask you this. So I just want to come back to see if there's comments here. I hope it's not always Gunter that retires people. Not gonna lie, maybe. I think that's what they're going for. I'm not gonna lie. Like it feels that way.
He's the new
But we'll
legend
see.
killer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me pull this off. Let me go back to the game. Uh, Wacky Panda, everyone's favorite. Let me ask you, this is someone in the industry. I
Yes.
feel like we've talked about it before. We're talking about
Yeah.
this age stuff. Like, you know, now it's not a situation of like, before if you were a male in wrestling, it was more of a man's dominated business prior to like the 2000s. Like the WWE barely had a women's division in the mid 90s, but like, it was like, oh, if you started at like 30 or you got signed somewhere at 30 in your 30s, you were kind of considered older. Like, you probably
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't, and not even like, if you were in your 30s, but you started somewhere at like 25, 26, 27, like, yeah, you can still be a top guy or something. But like, if
Yeah.
you entered a company and you were like already 35, 36, it was like, oh, they're old, they're on the end half. Like, it was very rare someone entered a company at that age and got pushed. Like, especially in the 90s, right? And I think that's a lot to do with the whole new generation thing was going on. And the
Yes.
guys that were that age were like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, but they were in the company since they were in their 20s, so it was looked upon differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like it was like a whole thing. Like Diamond Dallas Page started actually wrestling when he was 30 something, and
Yeah, he's 35.
yeah, and he was like one of the first people to like break out and like win the world title who started
Yeah.
later in his life, and like that
Yeah.
was like the one prime example of a success story of someone that started in their 30s and made
Yeah.
it. Um, what is it like on the women's side? Because I always had the perception, because I don't think it's like that for the men now. Like you can be a journeyman and work in like TNA and NWA and stuff until you're like in your mid 30s and still get signed to a larger company, maybe still be successful, right? Like that, I
Yes.
think that's changed, right? Like
Yeah.
you can be signed to WWE at 36 and start at NXT and still
Yeah.
potentially be successful in the main roster. But
Yeah.
I always had the perception back in the day, and I do think it's changed now with seeing with Becky who has a kid and she's on the road and Nikki's back. But I do feel like back in the day there was a whole perception of like we want to hire women young because we assume eventually they want to go off and have kids when they get a bit older.
Okay.
Um, that's the way I saw, and that seemed to be the trend, right? Like they would hire women young, and then when they just with the we'll invest them because like 28, 29, 30, if they want to go have kids, like we know like that's probably the time around. Do you feel like that's the case, or what do you feel it is for women?
I wouldn't say they want younger because of the children thing. I feel like a lot of female athletes aren't really trying to have kids. A lot are too though, but
Yeah,
I feel like it's just like a tale as old as time with WWE is such an aesthetic company that they want. That's why they hire like models and like out of college athletes like
no, for sure.
over indie wrestlers because they want a pretty face. They want a young beautiful woman. Like, that's how it's always been. That's why, some men will marry women that are like 20 years younger than them. It's just like, it's just the way
Yeah,
it's been always been. It's just like, we want to, the general public want to see an attractive young lady. But the thing is like, it's 2026 now, and 40 is the new 30. Like, I know 40 people in their 40s that look like they're 25 now. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, things are different now. People, we've like figured out how to look after our bodies and look great for a very long time.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So, I mean, it's obviously different now in that way. I mean, like, look at Nikki, man. Her body is outrageous. She
I
looks insane.
as
She looks, if I didn't know better, I would say, oh, 29, 30 years old.
yeah,
Like,
I'm as just like to be the most just like basic male for a second, I think she looks better now than
I
before
do
for me.
too.
I was like, whoa, I'm like she's like getting hotter. I don't know what
She
happened here.
is.
Like
She
she
is.
was always attractive, but I just like to me personally, I'm like, oh, she seems hotter to me now than she did. I was always a Brie Bella guy. And I'm like, no, Nikki looks great. This is crazy. Um, But to that point, Nikki, Charlotte, like now, like they're kind of in the same category as the men, where like they can wrestle into their 40s if they
They
choose
can.
to, and it's accepted now, which I think is a big change because I don't feel like that was the case 10 years ago, right? Like I feel like
Recovery
the
is different. What they're
yeah,
eating, their training. Man, they all have personal trainers. They all, they just like we figured it out. We figured out how to live long and look good
that's
for a
part of
long
it. True,
period.
you're right, and there's a lot more like
You know?
knowledge on how to stay healthy, be healthy, stay active, stay young, and I think that's something just overall, even on the men's side, that even a lot of the men will admit to, like the OG wrestlers that I interview and stuff. I'm on a road and I've won 150 bucks like 4 times. That's why I keep
Fuck
losing
yeah.
stuff. But like, let's go. Is that the guys will tell you too? Like the guys today compared to us, a lot more athletic, not as crazy on the road all the time. Like some of the OG
That's
wrestlers, like
right.
maybe a Jericho and stuff, is still partying and shit. But like some of the newer, younger wrestlers, they're not going that hard. Yeah,
No, they're
they're
not.
not. Yeah, they're
It's a
not going as
totally
hard
different
as
breed.
the. Yeah.
Totally different breed. And it's funny because like I started training in my 30s, and like even in my generation as a non-wrestler, like people
Yeah.
didn't look after themselves. We didn't look after ourselves in our 20s. We all partied. It was cool to smoke cigarettes. It was cool to drink. It's not cool to do that shit anymore. And like,
No.
coming up at Lionsgate, for instance, like a Casey Ferreira, who's like, he started when he was 19, and like his whole generation, none of his friends drink. They don't even think about it. It's not, they all just are so focused on their careers. It's incredible. And yeah, man, it's just like a different time. Like people are just like, they're more educated on, longevity and recovery and all that shit.
Yeah,
So,
and just taking care of themselves and working out differently, and not
yes,
everyone's like. And then that's the other thing we have to factor in. Not like everybody's like taking steroids to be jacked. More guys are like CrossFit, lean,
that's
just
right.
working out, eating healthier, eating cleaner. Like
Yeah.
it's just a different time, and I think like to your point, like everyone's learned how to take care of themselves better, live longer, stay
Hmm.
healthier. That's a big part of it. And I'm just looking back because when I think of the women that did retire back in the day, like a Trish that retired early, or other people that were left early, it was usually because they wanted to like go start a family and do different things. I remember like
Yeah.
I always find it so funny. Um, I'm good. I'm really cool with Barbie, like Kelly, and like she
Hmm.
retired what years ago, like 2011. And I was like, yo, like she retired so young to the point where she's even younger than some of the women that are actively on the roster right now. And I think
Yeah.
it's so funny because it's like, oh yeah, they hired her at 19, and she came in and came out so fast, like it was just in and out. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's interesting. Like the times have changed and it doesn't
Yeah,
seem to
it's
be a
great.
thing anymore.
Yeah.
And then you have people like Javon Evans who are getting signed at 19 years old, and they have a whole
Unreal.
career ahead of them.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you'll have someone come into NXT that's already like 37, 30. Like I'm not throwing ages out there. I don't like, I think me and Ethan Page are probably 34, 35. Like like it's just different times, different times. We should talk about AEW,
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Let's get
We should
into
talk
that.
about maybe while we're talking about, I'll throw some ages out there. I don't know. To Vampire Squid's point, yeah, I keep forgetting that Wrestle Kingdom's in a couple of days, and Hiroshi Tanahashi's retiring. Someone else has probably
Right.
wrestled well into his 50s.
Yes.
That being said, not talking about age all the time. I was
Hmm.
watching a '98 WCW show the other day, and
Oh,
I
nice.
remember just joking with my buddy, and I was just like, "Man, I always thought Ric Flair was so old all the time, and like now I see him, and he's actually old." But I'm like, I always thought I was a kid. I was like 8 years old in the late '90s, not 9 years old. I'm like, yo, this guy's like an old man, like yada yada yada. And I looked him up, and he was just 58, which means like when he retired in 2000, he was already
He was in his 70s, right?
like 68, like like
Okay.
I'm like not even 60, maybe he was 48, and then he was 50. I don't know. It was just like I was like, holy, he really wasn't that old.
No. I mean,
Yeah,
lifestyle, dude. Holy shit.
or
Ric Flair
like yeah.
lifestyle.
And he lives a crazy lifestyle, and he's still here. It's insane.
I know.
AEW.
Sheer
What
luck.
happened
Yep.
this week? What did it kick off with?
Okay,
Trying to remember.
so I'm not sure if I have this in order, unfortunately. So
Let me
my
see if I
bad.
can pull it up too.
Yeah.
I know I usually have my phone, guys. I left it upstairs somewhere. I don't know where it is, and I was already a couple of minutes behind, so I don't know where my phone is. I will also look
We
here.
did
AEW.
get a epic title change with flawless women's match. Flawless
Oh yeah, so
Willow.
that we know. That we know happened. That I do recall.
Okay.
Okay, now it's coming back to me a little bit.
Oh, you
What?
know who
So you
opened the
felt the
show?
match was really what? Who did?
Orange Cassidy.
Hello?
Hello?
Did he?
Yes.
No, he
Well, I mean,
didn't.
there
You
was
know
like a
what
promo
happened?
segment. There's
Cause
a promo segment, maybe something else.
yeah, yeah,
But
I
the first,
started this show late. I started the show late.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like I was watching it. I was like, God damn it! I kind of want to start like writing down like how many times he opens the show. But anyways, it's driving me nuts for no reason. I don't know why. Um, yeah. So there's that match. Oh, what was the match though?
No, I'll tell you what happened. Okay, I got it. I got it. The
Okay.
show opened with MJF. MJF
Yeah. So
came out
yeah.
to celebrate the fact that he is the world champion again. Gave us a very MJF promo. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it, but there was also nothing really out of this world with it either. He reintroduced the Triple B, so we got
Yep.
his belt back. He's back on top of the mountain. And I remember watching this, and I was just like, okay, this is them trying to show us the world title picture. Um, and first person that showed up was Kenny Omega. So now we know what he was talking about last week when the Bucks said they're out for the rest of the year, well, till
Yep.
the next year, which is now. But that
Three
being
days.
said, after
Yep.
the Bucks said that, he's like, oh, I got something I need to like go do that I haven't done yet, that I need to go like fix or like correct or something, and that was basically he's coming back for the title. He went up to MJF and he said, I want the title. I'm going to be coming for that. Like, yada, yada, yada. So Kenny's
Yep.
back in the title picture.
Yeah.
And then we go right back into our usual suspects. Um, Swerve and Hangman Page come out. They promise to strangle. Hangman promised to strangle MJF with his ugly ass belt. Swerve said better hope he gets to him. Hangman gets to him before he does.
Yep.
And then the ops sent out some people to attack him. Hangman and Swerve took out those guys. And then Samoa Joe turned up on the screen. So Joe's still in the picture. Hangman's in the picture. Swerve's in the picture. Kenny Omega's in the picture. And that was Joe saying like he's coming back for his title, yada yada yada. So all these guys are coming after MJF. MJF's got a target on his back, and then also he has to worry about Bandito, who won the Dynamite Diamond Ring, that's getting a title shot in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks here. Which this is the thing. I get it. It will be a good match, but and no, there's not a single fiber in my body that thinks Bandito's beating MJF to win the
No.
title.
No.
But it'll be good. They tried to build it up a little bit on this show too. How do you feel about that opening segment? Do you have any comments on it?
Okay, so I thought the segment between MJF and the boys was a little long and again a little bit unnecessary length of time. I don't know if I'm confused by who are Adam Page and Swerve, like, are they like faces now? Are they heels? I don't know. They took out all of that security, and I'm like, I don't really understand who they are right now. They come out with chains like bad boys and like beat up like 14 security. So you know what I mean? I'm not really sure about that. That kind of confused me, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a long segment, but it was cool. I love to hear MJF talk. So even if it takes the whole show, I'll be there for that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like a little bit repetitive. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good word to use. So I had a
I just
couple
feel
of
like that
opinions on
segment
it,
already
right?
happened. You know what I mean? Like something very
That too.
similar
Even when I
happened.
was reading it back to you, I felt like that too. I just I without I overall there was nothing wrong with it. Besides, you might be right; it was a little too long. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really necessarily think Joe needed to be involved in the opening segment. I don't think you need to send the ops guys out. I think Joe could have cut a promo later in the show about the exact same thing without being involved in the segment, and we could have cut off
Mm-hmm.
like 2 3 minutes. Maybe Joe runs into Swerve and Hangman backstage or something. Like
Yeah.
something else could have happened. It didn't all have to happen at once. I think okay, MJF cut a promo. Definitely cool getting Kenny Omega back in the picture.
Yes,
And then
I
I'm in
like
the
that.
same yeah, and I'm in the same boat with you on the idea of like okay, like what are Swerve and Hangman? I definitely do think they're baby faces. I think
Mm-hmm.
to MJF they're good guys. I don't like the fact that they like each other now this much and they're working
I don't
together
either.
this
It's
much.
weird.
It's weird. I understand coming together to come over the Death Riders and like making a pact and like maybe even coming back and being like, okay, well the ops have been messing with both of us. Let's work together to take them out. But I don't need you guys to still be running around like besties
They
when
are
like
besties. And like, are you really ever going to be a bestie with the guy who burnt your house down? I don't think so.
your
There's
childhood
not
home down,
enough
like, and then the
therapy
other
in
guy
the
went to go
world.
torment your baby in your house. Like, what are we doing?
No, I don't care if he changed. There's not enough therapy in the world to make me accept that as a homie. But yeah, they share a chain too. Did you notice that? I don't know if you noticed that.
They share a chain?
One, well, I think Adam Page came out with it. I could be wrong. I think Adam Page came out with it, and then Swerve left with it around his neck.
Oh
And I'm like,
my.
is this
And like
like
don't yeah.
so romantic?
It is
Yeah, they're,
not romantic. So I can't
they're
see the screen. I was playing the game, but that's funny.
they're a little bit too close for my comfort level right now. I just don't really understand where this is heading.
Yeah, and it's just like, and I listen. I'll give them credit. I'll give them credit. Like they do like every once in a while like stare at each other like there's still a little bit of tension and distrust. Like they
Yes.
are playing on that a little bit. I'll give AEW that. They're not
Hmm.
like totally ignoring the fact that hey, these guys used to hate each other, but it's also like don't come out at like for like 2 weeks to your point. This is feeling repetitive. The week before the show in the Hammerstein, Hangman came out and Swerve followed right after. This week was basically the same thing. Like, have a
Yes.
breath between the two of you coming out. Make it separate. Like, maybe Hangman came out, confronted MJF, then the Ops people came out, then Swerve came out to help. You know, that
Yeah.
makes a little bit more sense than you guys like
Yep.
coming out together basically and
No,
like
for real, that makes
being
sense.
together like you're in a faction and it's like, you know, like you work together when you need to, but you guys still don't get along. Like I don't need you guys to be frenemies. Like you burnt his childhood home down with personal heirlooms and family stuff in there, and you know you guys were putting needles in each other's mouth and using like if it wasn't that serious, like using cinder blocks on each other. Like I never needed to see Mick Foley and Undertaker be best friends after Undertaker threw him off a cell. And we never really did see them be best friends. They
No,
worked together and they
no.
stayed copacetic as characters, you know? Like
Yeah.
like there was never like, hey, like I forgot what you did to me. Like, don't do that. Like,
No.
don't like and it's not like and it's different too. Like it's not like they started off as friends, right? Like in other feuds in the past where it was like
Exactly.
oh, like
Yeah.
Triple
Good
H and
point.
Shawn Michaels hate each other and they're doing all this stuff to each other, but at the end of the day, you're like, but they were friends at first.
They were
You know what I
friends.
mean? Like
Yeah. They
like
rekindled
they
the
became
friendship.
friends again. Yeah, you can say the same thing about everybody in the elite because they're all fighting with each other and becoming friends again. But like
Yes.
then it makes sense. Then there's a little bit of a like, okay, well at least they were friends. They went through some stuff. They had a little bit of a hiccup. They did some shit to each other, but they
Mm-hmm.
always had a relationship in the first place. You know what I mean? Like there's still
Mm-hmm.
probably underlying like, well, you know, we grew up together or something, you know. But like I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Hangman and Swerve have that. I don't even look at them as guys that like I feel like Swerve and MJF travel the same roads on the Indies more so than Hangman and Swerve. You know, like there's just no
Yeah.
common ground between the two of them. For me to think this is like normal, that's the only beef I have with it. I do agree it could have been a little bit long. Joe could have went later, and then I was just like, I'm. Oh, and then the last thing. This wasn't my opinion. I'm regurgitating someone else's opinion, but I want to know what you think. I
Okay.
was watching the show with someone on the phone, certain segments, but at one point they were like, it might be a little bit of a petty comment, like not that serious, but they're like, it would be nice if there was someone fresh in the title scene. And then I did think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, all these guys are former world champions, which is cool, but there's no one that's like new, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just an
That's a good
opinion. That's
point.
just an opinion, but it didn't bother me that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the segment, first thing I thought was, didn't this already happen? Like, we already saw them wrestle each other, so like obviously they're all after the title. But I think yeah, to introduce somebody else in there, I guess they introduced Kenny Omega, but like I don't disagree with that statement. You know, it would be nice to see a new face. It'd be a lot more exciting.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
like even if it was like just the segment was Kenny challenging MJF, maybe that would have felt more new than everybody
that
else
would
still
have
being involved.
I wouldn't have had any issue with that for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have made more sense. And you know, we don't need like super long segments right after one after another like that. So, anyways.
And I was like, yeah, it should probably just be like Swerve. And I thought it was gonna be like, okay, Hangman's in a feud with Hook, maybe Swerve will feud with Hobbs or something, and they'll continue with the ops. I don't know who a third or fourth man to help them is. But then I was like, oh, I guess they're probably just gonna have a tag match against those two soon. And I just said that as like a joke, and then next thing you know, they challenged Hobbs and Hook to a tag match next week. No hold barns, no rules, no nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, here we go. The Hangman Swerve love story continues.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh
Yeah,
boy.
yeah. And now we're at your Orange Cassidy match, was the first match of the show,
My
and it
orange.
was a six,
It was a mixed
a,
mixed tag.
a
Three-way, or not three-way, sorry, six
six
man.
person
Yeah. Cutting out a
tag
little bit here. I can't hear you. Hopefully this sorts itself out.
match with
It's just reconnecting right now. I'm not sure if anyone can hear me.
or mixed nuts as a rematch.
Still reconnecting. Oh no. Okay, so I don't know if anyone can see me or hear me right now. We just lost Justin. I think probably pulling up a game. Oh, there you are. I was just trying to
You have
like
to put the
I
game
was
down.
like, am I talking to myself right now?
You're killing time. Yeah. It was a mixed nuts match again. Um, it was fun. It was good. I like this little like jokey thing going on with um, Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm. This little like
Antonio.
yeah. Oh yeah, Tony. What did I say? Did I say
No,
Tony Storm?
I think you said Tony. You
Oh,
already
I
said
thought I
Tony.
said that.
And
Yeah,
Mina
yeah.
getting a little jelly. Another
Yeah, yeah,
romance.
we saw the promo before the match too backstage where Mina was like, "Don't touch him. What are you doing?" Like, and the I think what did she say about Orange Cassidy? It's not sexual. He's too I
He's too
forget what it was,
acidic, I
but
think it was.
yeah, something. Oh yeah, because he's an orange. I get it.
And then she takes a bite out of an unpeeled orange, and I was just like that. As soon as she left that screen, she was probably like, like that's disgusting. Did you
Which
see
is
that?
a
Huh?
good enough character to do that. A proper character to do that. That I'd believe it though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
I love
if
that little. Can you hear me?
I can hear. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Just cut out. Okay, fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I love the little. I like that they're doing like little comedy matches between to break shit up.
Yeah, and this is fun. It's fine. I mean, honestly, I don't think any of these people, not like the Death Rider side of it all, but like I don't think Tony Roderick or Orange Cassidy are really involved in anything right now. That's really serious.
It's
And
exactly
I
yeah.
mean, they have been beefing the Death Riders. Like Tony has been beefing with Marina, so at least that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know how like I'm a fan of Daniel Garcia, but Daniel Garcia trying to be hard feels like he's just trying to be hard. You know what I mean?
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Whereas
talk.
like yeah,
I like
go
him as a
ahead.
person, and
Same,
I love his wrestling. He's an incredible
same.
seller. He's very good. But yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of stuff that mm, yeah, he just doesn't. He's he doesn't have like a super. He's not like a super jack dude. He's not like a super intimidating dude. So
Yeah.
in
Like
saying that,
Marina and Claudio seem like ass kickers. Claudio's
yes,
serious. I realize that Claudio's like the one person, maybe Pac too, that like they're the only people in this group that like don't throw up their middle fingers all the time. And, and it's just like you believe in Claudio, you believe in Marina. I
yes,
buy Wheeler as like a weaselly
he's a
little
weaselly
sneaky
little
shit.
shit.
Yeah,
Yes,
like I buy that. I buy Pac as being a badass. I buy Moxie as being a badass.
of
And I'm like,
course.
Garcia would have fit perfectly in the Blackpool Combat Club in its old incarnation. I just don't know where I sit with it here.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
just
agree. I think a lot of people would agree with that. I've talked to other people about it too, kind of thing. And they're like, yeah, it's not really his style. It's nobody really buys it. So
and I just think maybe we're just jumping the gun. Maybe like a couple of months from now he finds his groove and he figures it out. But just right now, like just constructive criticism, it feels like he's trying, and like everyone else in the group doesn't feel like they're trying. Does that make
I
sense?
miss him. Yeah, definitely. I miss him on his own. He's a great wrestler. Why can't he
Yeah.
just do his own thing right now? I don't know, but um, yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
and that run to like the TNT title when he won it and he was a baby, like that was actually good. Like it was good. They didn't
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
capitalize on it that great, but it was good. Like I believed him when he re-signed, he came back and he loved his company. Yeah, I don't know. It just it's interesting. I don't mind it though. But the Death Riders won. They won the match.
Mm-hmm.
Yuta being the sneaky little shit came in there and snuck up and attacked Orange Cassidy from behind. Helped them capitalize on that.
Mm-hmm.
And Mina showed up again, upset that Tony Storm was checking on Orange Cassidy. So we'll see
I know.
where they go with this.
Yeah.
Then we got some luchador action. We got some Bandito, the Dynamite Diamond Ring winner, against the Beast Mortos, the Beast
More,
Mortos,
more, more toast. Yeah, I think so.
the Beast Mortos Monet, and
Yeah, I know.
it was good. Bandito was obviously they're trying to like the moment you realize Bandito has a title shot coming up, like you like okay, well they got to make him look strong going into it, get him some
That's right.
W's. Um,
Yeah.
who was I saying about that on the WWE side? Oh, I was saying on the WWE side, just to sidetrack for a second. I'm like, hey, if they want us to take Nikki Bella seriously, she needs to like catch a random W on a Raw. It doesn't need to be like an important match. It could be a squash. I'm like, but she needs to beat somebody.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm
D-
like, what they do with Bandito makes sense because sometimes you just need to get some wins before you lose.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're really pushing Bandito right now, hey?
Yeah,
Um,
he's the Ring of Honor
so
World Champion.
is he?
I think so.
Okay.
Weird,
I
right?
haven't had, oh, man, I haven't watched any Ring of Honor in so long.
Same.
And like, sometimes I catch highlights and I'm like, I really should be watching it because, there's some good shit going on.
So I pop it on in the background every once in a while, and I will say recently, just in the last like 3 4 weeks, I feel like they have been putting bigger names on that show
They
to
have,
try to get
yeah.
people like Eddie Kingston's been on it, who like just had a
Mm-hmm.
world title shot, and like they've been Claudio's been like they've been putting people on it randomly to like maybe get people to watch. But yeah, I haven't watching it that much either. But Bandito's
Yeah.
what were you gonna say about Bandito?
I love his wrestling. I love him. He's obviously insanely talented, but I don't know if it's just like a lucha thing, but he was no selling Beast Mortos so hard, like taking like crazy, crazy moves and just like getting up and not just like, and that shit drives me nuts. But some lucha shit, I guess, right?
Yeah, I gotta watch it back. I didn't notice that, but because my mindset just went, oh, Bandito's gonna win. This will be a solid
Yeah.
match. 'Cause I think that I'm not against lucha wrestling, but in the moment I was like, oh, I can get I can get the results ready for the couple of seconds here because I know who's going over.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yes, exactly.
One
I
thing I like
love
Bandito too. I don't know where my issue, and I'm not like trying to like I grew up a cruiserweight wrestling fan. I like watching lucha wrestling. It's
hmm
hard for me to like. I just think in both companies, this is not just an AEW thing, is
Okay.
they don't make it very believable that any of the luchador stars in either company has the opportunity to win the world titles. Like there's like I can't sit here and be like, oh, one day Ray Phoenix and Penta is gonna be WWE champion for some reason in my mind, or Dragon
Right.
Lee. And then this company is the same thing. I don't see Bandito somehow climbing the top of the mountain and become the AEW world champion. And I also understand even me thinking about it, like would that even work? Even if
hmm
they did,
I could
like, is that even like
I
a
could
good
personally
call?
see Penta being a champion. I could see that happening. You wouldn't see Penta as a champion in WWE?
An intercontinental champion, maybe. I could even maybe even see him win the world title, but that WWE title that Cody's holding, I don't know if they're like ready to put a lucha in that spot.
I wonder if it's kind of like a situation where it's because they don't talk a lot. Because they don't really
Yeah,
none of them really have like deep storylines and like connections and relationships with the other wrestlers. And maybe that's why, because it's like the storyline is lacking. It's like they don't give them a proper story. And maybe it's because like they mostly speak in Spanish. Maybe that's why. We don't know. I don't know. But I just noticed that they don't really let them talk much.
no, and then
Um,
also like Penta, I could see you're not wrong. Because I also think part of it was like having a connection with the crowd, and that's something
Penta
like
is so over.
Ray always had, Eddie always had. They had a connection
Yeah.
with the crowd, right? So it's like who genuinely has a connection with the crowd, and not just for their wrestling skill, like as a
Yeah.
character, as a personality. and Penta is over. You're right. Penta's really over right now. So maybe Penta. And one thing, I think, especially in the TKO era right now, that they're very big of like. I joke around with RV where like I think it's so funny that like because RV's also like a football fan that like Cody keeps running around calling himself QB1. Like I'm the QB1. And it's like he's owning that spot of being the number one
Yeah.
quarterback. Like meaning like which makes more sense for that he's gonna be the WWE champion. Like he's gonna be that guy like the new Cena. And
Hmm.
like like we talked about how it almost felt a little performative that he sat there and looked at Cena's shoes for a little bit longer, um, and that's when like that title is more like, and I feel like in WWE's that's like the title that doesn't change hands that often. The title that like Roman had a long reign, now Cody's had
Oh
a long
yeah.
reign, or we'll
Yeah.
switch it for Cena because Cena's that guy. But maybe
Yeah.
Penta could win the world title. Maybe Penta could beat like that title that Punk holds one day. Maybe that. But in AEW, like, do you genuinely sit and go like, yeah, Bandito's gonna be the AEW
No.
world champion,
No.
or you know, Mascara Dorada is gonna win the Continental Classic, or like being the Ring of Honor champion. Sure, they'll give him that belt. Any of the mid card titles for sure. I can see any of these guys being TNT champion or international and national champion, but like that main world title, they haven't built the for a company that works with luchadors and probably even presents luchadors more than WWE does.
Yes.
I don't see any of them reaching that level.
Yeah, it's almost like filler between stories. It's like here's some really incredible wrestling, enjoy this, but like we're actually going to focus on these other guys and let them speak and give them stories and
Which
whatever.
which which is very WCW, but then we learned that like guys like Ray and Eddie were actually really over it when given the opportunity they could do it.
They were also fluent in English.
That's true. That's a big part of it.
That's what I mean. So maybe that might have something to do with it. But then there's like the Kabuki Warriors or whatever, Japanese speaking wrestlers that are still get titles but are also not super fluent in English. So I don't know. Maybe that's not the reason why at all. But it
I
just for
think
me it's like that could
there's a different perspective with the luchadors and Japanese wrestlers though.
yeah
Because like I can see Okada being the AEW World Champion for some reason, or
yes
even Takeshita. That
of
doesn't like
course
and it was easier for me to think, oh, Shinsuke can win the WWE title than any of the luchadors currently, back in the day. But like
yeah
I don't know. And like Oscar, they WWE does a really good job of bringing the Japanese wrestlers in and building them in as like really talented. They're like they have technique and strong style like that. Where like I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just think there's a different look when they look at the Japanese wrestlers and the Mexican and luchador wrestlers. It's like not the
yeah
same.
maybe because the luchadors aren't out here selling enough. I don't know.
Maybe it's a mass thing. I don't know. Maybe it is a something. The only other person that like maybe if booked in a strong position and had someone to speak for him that might be able to rise in AEW, like maybe if he was with Don Callis' Andrade, maybe. But like I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
They tried pushing Roosh, but that didn't really go anywhere. I don't know where he is now.
Oh my God, where is he? I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. Is he gonna be a Ring of Honor? Like, I'm trying to think, like who's have I ever anyways. Moving forward, Bandito and Brody King were interviewed backstage by Renee where even here, like it seemed like Brody King was doing the talking for Bandito to your point.
He
Being like he's
was.
gonna win the world title and when he does, I'm gonna get a title shot because we're still friends, yada yada yada. And this led to an impromptu, unadvertised match between Brody King and Big Shotty Lee, where I was like, "Oh, Big Shotty Lee, a guy that we haven't probably seen properly on these shows, at least on Dynamite, at least, who probably should have been a Continental Classic because it probably would have benefited him instead of guys like John Moxley and Okada
Oh
and
yeah.
etc." But because that's what I think the
Oh man.
Continental Classic should be. It should be the younger guys that don't get featured that often, the Lee Moriartys, the Big Shotty Lees.
Oh,
Hell, Garcia and Yuta should have been in it, not Claudio Pack and Moxley. That's what I thought it should be. But anyways,
agreed. Yeah, I'm really glad to see him. He's so good. I
yeah.
forgot how good he was. I just watched that match. I was like, why am I not seeing him every week? Come on, man. Like,
Why
this
don't
guy
we see
rules,
these
but maybe we
guys? And
will.
then it's like people are gonna be like, well, then watch Collision, watch Ring of Honor. But like, if you really want to highlight them, put them on the show that more people are watching. And they know it too. Look at the ratings. What show are people watching out of
Yeah,
the three?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But he's here. He was on Dynamite and he wrestled Brody King in a one-sided match. To be honest, it wasn't a whole fully one-sided, but it was quick and
I know. It was a little bit of a squash, right?
it was
A little
43
bit.
seconds. So like,
What? Really?
it was a 42-second squash match.
Damn. But even
From
even that
when
little
the
bit
bell
didn't get.
actually rang.
Okay.
King landed a
The little
lariat, Splash Johnson in the corner with the cannonball, and then delivered a big power slam for the win.
Yeah. But even the little bit of work that we did see out of him, I was like, yeah, this guy needs to be booked more on the main.
Yeah.
He's great.
And then
Yeah.
I feel like in the idea of like, okay, let's build Brody King at the same time. I just don't want Bandito to get the title shot. We try to hype up Brody King, and then we just go back to Brodito being a tag team. Or
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't even think I care about Brodito and Bandito having a program against each other. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I just it is what it is.
Totally.
Um,
What else do we have here?
next we had Darby Allin cut a promo where he is now saying, "I beat Gabe Kidd, and I need to beat Pac. Like he needs to do it. Like he wrestled him in a regular wrestling match. Pac won, but
Mm-hmm.
he just needs to prove it to himself that he needs to beat him. Like he can beat him. So the challenge has been issued out to Pac, which I don't think Pac's gonna like not accept or anything. So
So I think
um,
he's just gonna like work up his way to Pac. Like he's gonna go through all of these other Death Rider guys until he hits Pac, which
like
will be
what
cool. I
Garcia,
think
then Ruda, then Claudio,
I'm enjoying this storyline. I think it's really interesting and it
then
has
Pac.
potential to be really cool. What are we playing
Yeah,
right
I
now?
like Darby. Just is it up? Because I tried to pull it up, but it's not. My
It's
screen's still
up.
being weird.
It's a different one. I haven't seen this one yet.
I know, but I don't want to lose the feed again, so I'm kind of worried here.
Yeah, I know, right? Sometimes it works flawlessly, and then other times it's just so choppy.
Yeah, I should have restarted my computer probably before we started recording. Let me see here. Like I can't see anything right, so I'm gonna have to stop sharing. That's so weird.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
Clucking
now we're
Riches.
back.
All right.
Jackpot City, guys. Though it's a lot of fun, as you guys can tell. I'm really good at betting because I've always been around my original balance that I had. So like you guys can play and play smart, and you guys will make some money. You know. Um, Darby things was interesting to me just based off the fact that like he was injured, he was taken out of the Continental Classic, he came back and wrestled Gabe Kidd, and it was like I don't know, like I don't know, it just was that like an excuse to get him out of the Continental Classic? Was he really hurt? I still don't know, and I'm not like a news source guy, so I actually genuinely don't know, but I just it just seems interesting, and now he's right back to his like I need to kill the Death Riders thing, which I like forgot about for 2 weeks while he was in the tournament, so I don't know.
Right.
John Moxley faced Josh Alexander in a Continental Classic Eliminator match, meaning if Alexander won, then he would get a shot at
Yep.
John Moxley for the belt.
Which is
Um,
right.
Completely solid match. There was absolutely nothing wrong with this match. It went 15 minutes.
Amazing.
Josh Alexander's a great wrestler. Mox is Mox. Also a great wrestler, but he's just Mox. He wrestles his style. He's totally different style than Josh
But you
Alexander.
know what?
And yeah,
He's such a good seller. I know. I'm like
Mox.
today word of the day is selling for me. Yeah, he's
Yeah, I feel like you watched the show and
he's
was like,
on.
who's selling, who's not selling.
Yeah, I know. I selling for me is just as important as any move, you know. But
Yeah.
in general it is not just to me. But yeah, he's just such an underrated worker. And I know I've said that before, but he really is. And I know he's just like it's not just like punches, you know. He's not just brawling. He's really good at selling and it's very believable. And I'm often like worked myself from it. You know what I mean? Like he's very like almost like Terry Funk style selling, you know? It's cool. I love that match. The finish was epic. It was so good. Loved it.
Yeah, I just Josh Alexander's another guy that I don't want him to ever get lost in a like just $170. I don't want him to get lost in a whole he's good. And like I just wish like and like I don't know, man. There's so much good talent here because I understand why he's not maybe in the position that he could be in, but he's good. I just want to see him. It's the same thing I said about Nikki Bell. It's the same thing I said about someone earlier on with Bandito. Like I get it. Like let him have a match where he can get a win. Let him face Lee Moriarty on a Dynamite just to pick up a W. So like when he is in matches like this, we'll actually believe that he might win because he
For
loses a
sure.
lot. You get what I'm
That
trying to
is true.
say? Like I don't that type
Yes,
of a
of
booking.
course.
Like, and I might be wrong. Once again, this could also be my fault. Maybe he is picking up wins on Collision, and I'm just not seeing it. But
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Josh Alexander facing Mox for the title. It's like obviously he's not gonna win. Like we all know that. It's
yeah, but
ridiculous.
like at
You know,
least
like
like maybe last week he wrestled somebody and he picked up a strong W, and you're like, oh, like, at least okay, maybe they're like trying to
Exactly.
push him. Like fool us a little bit. Don't make it so
Hmm.
predictable.
Hmm.
Like you're trying to do with Bandito, but like I just think MJF just won the belt and he's not gonna drop it a Bandito. But for the at least they're trying over there. Um,
Hmm.
that being said, then Shelton Benjamin walked out, and I'm like, okay, Shelton versus Mox, I can see this. I can see Shelton being a contender. Because you know
That's a
why?
good one. Yes.
Because Shelton and Lashley have beat people. They have actually won
Hmm.
matches. It seems
Yeah.
like they don't, and they're gonna do the
We've lost
best
connection
to
again, brother.
book the
Oh,
hurts
you're
and make
back.
it
Yeah.
strong. So it's like okay, that Shelton would win the Eliminator match or something,
Hmm. Yeah. Sorry, you cut out for most
right?
of that. I'm
Whereas
just like,
like
yeah, yeah, totally.
I
uh,
know,
but yeah,
but I
he
was thinking at
was
least you can believe that Shelton would win the Eliminator match, right? Like to get
definitely,
the title
yeah,
shot.
he's like champion level, like I would believe it for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna close this game because
Yeah.
this is being tough right now. Um, and then we had Jack Perry making his entrance with Luchasaurus to take on Ricochet, the for the AEW national title. The belt's finally on the line. This title is supposed to be defended in Independence and nationally, I guess, and has not been. But
Mm,
Ricochet
true.
faced Jack Perry, and there was some interference with Bishop Khan and Toa Liana and stuff, which led to Ricochet
Uh-huh.
winning. And then they attacked
Yeah, great
Luchasaurus after
match.
the match.
Love Ricochet. I love
Yeah,
him on AEW so much more than WWE.
it was
He's
good.
just like,
He's good here.
yeah.
He feels more important.
I just feel like he gets to be silly and he gets to be himself, and it's
Yeah,
he just has so much creative reign and
and he gets to
yeah.
exaggerate all the things that people actually do dislike about him, and it's like fun, and it's like okay, like I can buy into this. Um, I'm still trying to get back on the train of thinking of Jack Perry as like a sympathetic baby face that I'm supposed to like root for in that way. I don't look at him that way for some reason. And then Luchasaurus sucks. They attack Luchasaurus after the match, um,
Hmm.
and they beat him up with like a barricade and chairs and
Yeah,
throwing
that's
people on
right. On
top of
his
him and
arm, his
stuff.
bad arm. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got a Death Riders promo where Moxie said that he's ready for Shelton Benjamin. And then Wheeler Yuta told you were right because Wheeler Yuta told Darby Allin that they have to go through him to get to Pac.
That's
And
right.
then and the
Yeah, he's
Garcia
gonna
says
climb
Death
his way
Riders are
up
gonna.
to Pac, and that match is gonna be fucking crazy.
So it's gonna be Darby versus Wheeler, probably Darby versus Garcia, maybe the last stop Darby versus Claudio or something. Then it gets to Pac, but
Yeah.
that's what they're doing with Darby's in the work. Darby is still beefing with the Death Riders. You know, try to blow them up
Yeah.
with fire guns and cocked like I forget what that thing's called where you light the thing on fire and try to throw it at them. I forget, but it is what it is. Willow Nightingale
Molotov cocktail. Yeah. Oh
cut a
yes.
promo before the match with Harley Cameron, fired up. And then before that, we get MJF interviewed, asked about Kenny Omega, Hangman, and Swerve until he was confronted by Bandito and Brody King. And then once again, it seemed like Brody King was doing most of the talking for Bandito. And then we got to
Hmm.
our main event. Mercedes Money defending her TBS title that she held for 584 days. Being the longest reigning TBS champion now, beating Jade Cargill's 508 days, I believe it was, against Willow Nightingale. I went into this like this could go either way. There's no point I didn't think that Willow couldn't win. I was like, no, she could. It's the last show of the year. They might want to make it like a memorable situation, have it happen. They've been playing on this whole Mercedes downfall thing right now.
Hmm. I like that. I
It could
like it
happen,
mostly
right?
because
50-50
Mercedes
with Mercedes.
is
She could always win, even when you think she can't win.
yeah. There's nothing better than watching
Oh, you cut out. Sorry,
Mercedes
what
have
do
a
you say?
meltdown. Or am I cutting out?
Mm-hmm. No,
Am
you're
I
good. You're good. Go
here?
ahead.
Okay. There's
You
nothing
are here.
more satisfying than watching Monet have her meltdowns. It's so fun to watch. She's so good at it. Um, and we're gonna
I
watch
was
her
about to make a
just lose
joke,
all
but it
these
probably
titles
mean
now, and she's gonna lose her shit. And I'm here for it. I think it's really entertaining.
I was about to
Um,
be like, they made her lose so much in WWE. She has the I'm so devastated and sad that I lost
oh
face
my god,
down.
she does. She truly does. Aw,
Yeah.
poor thing. She's like, oh,
And
I
like
know
she
this
had,
feeling. Actually, I get
yeah,
it.
she has this. And the thing is, like, she is probably a little bit actually sad. Like, no, I'm supposed to be the
I know.
best. But no, she's great, and
Oh,
it's like this was her most important title. This is the one that started the whole,
it
like,
is.
I'm Mercedes in AEW. I'm holding this, and I won all these other titles. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy for Willow. I'm here for it. Great choice. Just a few gripes with it is like, I like. I wish she wasn't the tag team champion at the same time.
Okay.
I just like if and that being said too, I wish like I get it. Like Willow picked up a victory on Mercedes at the pay per view, which led to Mercedes challenging her. They do have history back in the day. I just felt like they were like you could have like for this moment you could have built more of a story for this. This
Mm,
could have been a bigger
mm.
deal. This could have been
Yeah.
like it definitely in my mind to be honest should have been a pay per view match.
Yeah.
It could have been
Okay.
on that. It's
I
just
think
like a couple more weeks of build or something. It's like they're building this story around just Mercedes, but I feel like there should have been more of a build with her opponent as well.
that's fair. It didn't super bother me this time because usually that really gets on my nerves too. But it kind of just like it worked out. It was New Year's. They wanted to end off on like a super happy note, super positive note. So they, gave the title to the most ultimate baby of all time. Much deserved. I thought it was a brilliant match. It's probably dead ass one of the best women's matches I've ever seen on AEW, in my opinion. The back and forth was insane. So I think because the match was so good that I kind of forgot and didn't care that there wasn't like a bit of a kind of current rivalry or anything like that. And I think it was like kind of supposed to be a surprise. It's kind of like, okay, these two are going to wrestle, and obviously Monet is going to take the win, but she didn't. So I don't think that Willow needs to be in this tag team either.
I
And
said that in the middle of the match too. I was like, man, Willow's so good as a singles wrestler. I'm really happy
yeah,
for
I
Harley, and
literally
she's
was like,
coming
oh
into
my
her
god,
own.
this
And
is why she's
like,
here.
yeah, like I'm really happy for Harley, and she's coming to her own. But it's just like maybe if they lost the belts to somebody else on the pay per view, and then this happened, it'd be different. Or like, I don't know. It
That would
just
have
like
been nice.
it's like I'd never liked the idea of like when Joe was the world champion, he was still carrying around his trios title. Because then it just reminded me how much that title doesn't matter compared to this one. Does that make sense?
That absolutely makes sense.
And
Yes.
then going to Mercedes, like she had obviously 13 or 14 belts or whatever she had. And to me, like the two most important ones was when she had the New Japan one and then the TBS title, and then when she had the Ring of Honor title and then the
Mm-hmm.
TBS title. But like the TBS title was the anchor. Like I listen, Mercedes can lose any other title that she's holding right now, all these indie companies, and it doesn't matter. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this one I felt
Mm-hmm.
mattered. Like this belt specifically mattered, right? Like this was her
Yeah.
her head gemstone, right? And I just felt like
Mm-hmm.
great match, 100% agree with you. Fantastic match. I thought the match was in like and I love Mercedes as a wrestler. I will. That's why I'm a Mercedes fan because I think she's a tremendous
Yes.
in
Oh
ring.
yeah.
You want to talk about selling? She sells. You want to talk about like
She's amazing.
telling a
Yeah.
story? She tells a story. Like
Yes.
can she be a little arrogant sometimes? Seems like she's got an ego, all that stuff. Maybe not the greatest promo for sure, but she's one hell of a wrestler, and that's why she's like my favorite women's wrestler. Because in that ring, I don't know many that will like. She's got like '90s Shawn Michaels shine on her. Like, she's just good,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so the match and Willow's great, and I we've talked about that. Like, we know Willow's carrying that tag team. It's helping Harley get better, but Willow's like the one that we know is like. I think we talked about like the Sisters of Sin versus Willow and Harley. And we're like, no, like Willow's the best one out of the four in this match. We know that, like, and
Yeah.
I just wish it was. I think it's great. I just wish it was a bigger deal. I just felt like if we went to pay per view and like next week this match is happening, and it's like I knew it could go either way, and I understand the booking of like last show of the year. Let's end it with a bang. Let's make a big title change. But I was like, like this should have been like Roman WrestleMania 40 finally losing the belt. Big
Yeah.
story, not
I hear
just
you.
on a dynamite that we're probably gonna forget 3 months from now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
For
get what I'm trying to
sure.
say?
Yeah, for sure, for
Like,
sure. Luckily, it was New Year's and they had a big celebration at the end, so I don't
yeah,
know. That's pretty memorable, I suppose. But I see what you're saying, but it's just all so very AEW. You know, it's like
yeah.
we expect that. Not a huge story, I suppose, going into the match. It's
Where do you
unfortunately
see
a little
Mercedes
common.
going now?
I think she's gonna have a huge just downhill. You know, she's gonna lose a bunch of titles and we can watch her lose her mind. And I think they've really established that they like to watch her have crash outs because it's entertaining. So I think, yeah, she's just gonna have a kind of a little bit of a downfall, and we'll see what happens from there. I don't know if she's like, what do you think about her getting like like going face at some point? Do you think that's a possibility?
I think they tried to bring her in as a face, but the fans chose to dislike her right off the bat.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she's easy to dislike. And especially in AEW for some reason.
Yeah, I know,
Because
right?
she's not like. She could. The only way she would be like a super baby face is if she went on this, like, I'm going to wrestle every week, put on banger matches, and I'm going to prove to everyone, like, I'm the best wrestler. And then wrestling fans, like, AEW fans, like, well, she wrestled him great matches. That's how you get over in that company. She likes doing these
Mm-hmm.
talking segments. She likes rolling up in the car and doing these celebrations, barely
Mm-hmm.
wrestling. Um, to the point where that's where they're like, oh, she's so WWE eyes. Like, she's not. You know what I mean? Like, and
Mm-hmm.
also, I've always preferred Mercedes as a heel, even when she was Sasha Banks. I always preferred her as a heel. She just does better work. I feel like we have a like my relationship with Mercedes is at one point I think she didn't like me in real life. I think I annoyed her at some point years
Oh
ago with
no.
some dumb shit that I did, and now
Oh
like
no.
we know of each other, and like every time I go in her live streams, it's like a running thing that like it doesn't matter. She was like, "Shut up, wrestling classic." Like she just like in character, like fucking with me all the time. Like that's our relationship. Like she's fucking with me.
Yeah.
Like, and I know she fucking with me because like she's cool with me. We've talked on the other side. She's asked me for like food recommendations for Toronto when they had the pay per view there and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Like it's cool. Like but like on like in public, like she will continuously be like, "F the wrestling classic, you stupid idiot," like da and stuff, right? Like you know what I mean? And like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'm like, but that's the Mercedes I like. I wouldn't like it if she was being nice to me the whole time. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's
Right?
who she is. That's I
Yes.
feel like I'm being trolled by Mercedes and I like it. I do feel in the nicest way possible that she does walk around with a little bit of an ego and that my shit don't stink and I'm a woman that started the revolution. I believe it. I'm not saying she's not probably not cool as fuck and wouldn't like jump in a session with you or whatever, but I do feel there's a level of ego to her. And I want that
Okay.
out there. I want that to be exaggerated.
Yeah.
That's the best Mercedes. And
Yeah.
I just don't see her as a baby face because like she's
That's
just so
fair.
easy to
I
be
was
like,
thinking
ah, oh, this woman's so cocky. Like
oh, I know, I know. That she just
yeah.
has the natural aura of cockiness for sure. Which I'm here for it. I like that vibe. But I was thinking even like, what if like she loses all of her titles and she's just like, you know, gets like mad sympathy and everyone feels bad for her and she like comes around and drops the attitude and you know, but you know, I do
It's gonna
prefer
have to
her
be something where
as a
like
heel.
she's saving Willow from Marina or something to make them like her. Like she's helping a baby face. Like maybe
Sure.
that's the case.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they people hated the fact she had 14 titles. Unless you were part of the
Yeah.
crew, like I'm part of the crew, I'm part of the Sasha, like I'm part of the the crew. So I'm like, hell yeah, let's go, keep winning more titles. But everybody hated
Sure, why
it.
not?
She sucks. She's overhyped. She's got creative control. She's making money. It's
Good. Good, good,
every
good.
and all that real life stuff. Like that's what makes people hate her too, because they do think she has creative. Oh, she's got her own locker room at every show. She thinks she's bigger. You know what I mean? There's always this stuff about her. Like she's just easy to hate. And it's also like I
Mm-hmm.
hated. No, I think that I didn't hate because he made it work. But it was just weird seeing MJF as a babyface. You know,
Yeah.
it's always weird
Yeah.
now because he's older and he's been around forever. It's okay, but it's sometimes like there was a point too, like 2011, 12. Like it wasn't bad. I was still a fan, but I was like, it was weird seeing Randy Orton as a babyface. Some Triple H was a babyface in
True.
2007. Like it was weird. You're a bad guy. You beat people
It
up with a
is weird.
sledgehammer. That's
Yeah.
Mercedes. She's just like it's
Yeah.
like what imagine JBO came back and you're just like a super baby face that was like like it's just there's certain people that's just great heels and Mercedes is one of them.
Yeah.
The only way it'll
Speaking of
change is
turning
like,
face,
yeah.
oh,
Go ahead. I was just saying the only way they could do is like what they did
um,
with Charlotte is putting Mercedes with someone that is beloved, and then next thing you know they'll
yeah,
like her. Like if somehow Mercedes starts teaming with Willow for some reason or something like. But yeah,
yeah, that'd be weird.
yeah,
Moxley is such a baby now,
he is. He is,
right?
which is weird because he's like a
What's going on
baby face in the group, and everyone else is still bad guys. And they made
there?
it
Hmm.
seem that they made it seem as if like the Death Riders were gonna turn on Moxie, but then he won the Continental Classic, and that whole idea is kind of gone. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see where this goes.
God, I just low key like want him to leave the Death Riders. I don't know why. I just think it'd be interesting if like he just went full baby face.
I know it'd be going backwards, but I do miss the
You know?
Wild Thing. I do miss the Wild Thing era. We talking
Yeah.
about the Wild Thing. That was fun. But yeah, that was
Yeah, it's
AEW
cool.
Dynamite
Onita
for
song.
this week. The Onita song that he
Yep.
brought over to America and made his own.
Hmm.
Because yeah, he's a big Onita
Yes.
fan himself.
Of
We should gotta do
course.
your death match thing. You gotta tell me about the best death matches and death match wrestlers. We'll do that. We'll get
Yeah.
there in 2026. That is
Yeah,
it
we'll
for
make
this
some time
week.
to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is it for this week. That is our
Wow.
AEW Dynamite recap. To Fasadi brought up the fact that Darby should be in the title picture. I still am gonna die on the hill that I think Darby was the one that was supposed to uncrown Moxley at All In, but then he went to go climb Mount Everest. So I don't know when he'll
Yes.
be back in that title picture. But Darby is one of those guys that I think is like so heart and soul of AEW that he will get there.
Well, I mean, if he's climbing up the ranks with the Death Riders, then he'll eventually have to face Mox, right? So
But Mox isn't the champion almost, so will we get Darby? Will Darby be the
that's
one to
true.
beat MGF one day? Because that would be fresh. That would be fresh. Darby versus MGF for the
Yes,
title.
that'd be
One
fun.
of my favorite AEW matches that I like remember. I was like, if you ask me, okay, what are one of your favorite AEW matches? I think it was like a double or nothing maybe, and like the opening match was Darby versus MGF, and it was just like
Hmm.
such a good match. And it was like storytelling and
Hmm.
like MJF like tried giving Darby the skateboard and was like hit me and like it was a really good match. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a really good match. Darby MJF like I think it was like 2021. Like it was in the heyday. But that's it for this week, guys. Make sure you subscribe to Bell to Bell. Follow us on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. Follow the Instagram page. We're on TikTok as well. Make sure you follow the Villain Terra's app. Follow her, see where she's gonna be, where she's gonna wrestle, what's going on in her life and in her world. You follow me at the Wrestling Classic. Check out on the Wrestling Classic YouTube channel, TWC show, just yapping, all that stuff. More casual conversations. I don't know if I can outdo what I did last year, but we're gonna try 4 interviews a
Hell yeah.
month. It was tough. I made my little recap video. I'm like, I don't know if I can pull that off again, but we'll see.
Wow.
And Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy 2026. I hope everyone
Happy New
enjoyed the New
Year.
Year's, enjoyed the holidays. We are now officially it's January 2nd. I think this is the last day we can say Happy New Year because now we're in it. We're in the thick of it.
Whew.
The holidays are over. And yeah, I think that's it.
Right
Anything you want to
on.
add?
Happy New Year, everyone. Follow me at Vile Villain. Villain tears up. I don't even know my own Instagram. Shit.
He doesn't
Villain
even know
tears
our
up.
own Instagram.
You know
Follow
what?
Villain
I'm running
Terrace.
on one brain cell, all right, man? Like,
I
come on.
don't. I'm debating if I go back to sleep right now or I move on with my day and just try to go to sleep tonight. We'll find out.
I just drank this. I can guarantee you I can fall asleep.
I have drank or ate nothing, and I have no idea where my cell phone is, which is so weird for me because that's like attached to my hip. Um, Everyone, keep doing the
Ugh.
thing. We will see you next time. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Same channel, Bell to
Hell
Bell, Kick,
yeah.
Twitch, and YouTube. We're hoping with the later time we'll get more of you to be able to join us. I know right now, like for me, it's like 11. People probably just starting the lunch on the East Coast. They probably went through lunch. We want you guys to come in. We want you guys to chat. We're gonna have more guests. We're gonna keep doing the thing. We want to rock this Bell to Bell stuff and get you guys on Jackpot City Casino playing the games as much as we can. And I promise to restart my computer next week before we start this. Maybe things will work a little bit more smoothly. That's all.
Yeah.
Keep
All
doing the
right.
thing, and I'll see you all next time.